Good morning, students. Today, this PPT is to give a brief concept on how to write a good memorandum. Memo is a short form of memorandum. Writing a memo is very important for your syllabus because it is included in the new curriculum of diploma engineering courses, and it is also important for it has a definite official purpose. So listen to this video very carefully. It will help you to make a clear understanding, and the basic concepts will be cleared on how to write a memorandum. Come to the very first point, very first slides. This PPT will discuss the definition of memorandum, introduction, advantages of memorandum, the prime purposes of memorandum, its characteristics, different parts of memorandum, and definitely few questions which are also very important to clear your concept. Let's come to the first part. What is the definition of memorandum, or what we understand by the simple term memorandum? Memorandum is written for the official purpose only. Memorandum is written to serve or circulate any important information or message throughout the office. Memorandum is written by an employee of the organization to one particular employee, or maybe for a group of employees who are working with the organization. Normally, memorandum is called inter-office memorandum. Why? Because memorandum is written to circulate any information within the office premises. So that is why it is called inter-office memorandum. Uh, Memorandum is basically written to circulate any information or instruction, or it may be written to convey any order on a particular thing or on a particular purpose. So that is the objective of writing a memorandum. Now, the basic introduction. Basically, memorandum was originated, the term memorandum was originated, or it is derived from a Latin word which is memorare. And the meaning of this Latin word memorare is to remember something. In a legal terms, or in the language of a law, memorandum means a document recording terms of contract. The plural form of memorandum is memorandums or memoranda. It is commonly known by its abbreviation, which is memo. So, we will term memorandum as memo for the conversational purpose. Now, what are the advantages of memo? There are some specific advantages of using memo for circulating information within the organization. Firstly, memo is very quick and convenient. We can just take a few minutes to write a memo. It is as simple as that. It is very straightforward in nature. There is no exaggeration or elaboration of event or instruction or information are required. Okay, so it is very quick and very convenient because it is written so simple language that all the employees can easily understand the core message served by the memo, or the employees can easily connect with the instruction or order served through a memo. So it is very quick and convenient. The second most important thing about writing a memo is it is very inexpensive. We don't have to buy a computer or a laptop or any other instrument, electrical or electronic instrument of writing memo. We just have a we can just have a page of paper and we simply write a memo. So it is very inexpensive. And the third one is the most important, and that is it is a written record. Whenever any instruction or order or information is circulated to the employees uh, through a memo, it remains as an official written document, and we can use this official written document for future reference. Okay, suppose I am calling to one of my junior and giving him or her some instructions about jobs, but this verbal communication may not have any official document. I may deny later that I have not given you such instruction, or to whom I have given that instruction, that employee can also deny that I am not I have not been given such kind of instruction to do this job. So somewhere written document is really important and memo serves the purpose. So this is one of the most important advantage of a memo, that it remains as a written document. Okay. Uh, Memo should be designed in such a way that it serves the message very quickly. No elaboration or exaggeration or explanation in a long way is not required in a memo. We have to very precise and specific in writing the message or information or instruction or order while writing a memo, because the logic behind is employees are very busy in the organization and they are overloaded with work. So they want to get information without any hassle. Like if the message is too lengthy, then employees may lose their interest or may become disinterested, uninterested, uh, or disengage while reading this memo. So the message should be very short, very precise, and very specific, and it should be written in a simple language so that the readers, the group of readers, or the employees can easily connect them with the core concept of the message. Now, this is the purpose of writing a memo. Memo can be written to inquire about something in the organization. Suppose I am doing or working on a project. My senior or my immediate boss has written a memo to me asking for the status of my work. So, this type of information may be sought by writing a memo to inquire something, to inform. In reply, I can write a memo to my boss, okay, to inform something, to report. To provide a report, memo can also be written. To remind, memo can be written to remind something to employees, to promote goodwill. So these are the most important purposes of writing a memorandum. Now, the characteristics of effective memo. This is the essential or the essence of a memo. Good memos contain certain characteristics. The first one is clarity. The clarity should have, very, uh, what should I say? Clarity is a very important thing in a memo. Then comes the conciseness, then unity of theme, and then the informal tone. These are four characteristics that an effective memo should have. Now come to the first point. This is the clarity of a memo. Clarity means a clear concept. The language, the official language of a memo should be as simple as uh, like the easy employees can have an easy understanding of what the speaker or the writer has wanted to circulate or wanted to convey. So, simplicity in language is highly desired because a message which is very ornamental and information which is written in a very complicated way may confuse an employee, and a confused employee may not have a clear understanding of what information or instruction or order have been given, and this may lead to uh, wrong activity, or this may mislead them and they may lose to attain their objective of the message. So clarity is important. Next come the conciseness. Conciseness means memo should be very short, precise, and direct. uh, Concise and direct memos are more effective. A memo should contain only essential information. There should not be any elaboration or exaggeration or detailed narration of any order or instruction or information. And the use of unnecessary words or heavy words or expressions or repetition of words should be avoided. So avoid unnecessary explanation, repetitions, wordy expressions, and amplification while writing a memo. Unity of theme. Unity of theme means we should circulate one message at a time, because if we serve too many messages by one memo, then the readers or the target employees for whom this memo is written may be confused again. So unity of theme means serving only one information at a time. A memo which does not have unity of theme distracts the reader and ceases to be purposeful. So, an important way of ensuring unity in a memo is to make sure it deals with only one topic at a time. A single topic is developed and related ideas are subordinated to the employees. So that is the unity of theme. Informal tone. Informal tone means the message is written in such a way that the employees better connects with the message. A personal touch can attract the employees or give uh, a message to the employees in a positive way, so the employees may better respond to this message or better follow the orders or instructions that is served through memo. So in memo, tone is usually informal and conversational. As the writer is likely to be familiar with the reader, personal tone may be used in memos. And contrary, a very formal tone might sound intimidating or like a bossy. So that should be avoided. Now, different parts of a memo. If we closely monitor, then standard memos contain four specific parts. One is heading, then opening, then body, and then closing. So when you will write a memo, you also have to follow this structure. Now come to the heading. Uh, in heading, the heading segment of a memo include four elements. So in a heading, you can easily find there are four elements. First is to. The memo will be started as writing to whom this memo is written. You have to mention the name and designation of the person to whom this memo is written. Then comes from. From means the person who is writing. So, name and designation of the sender who is writing the memo. Date. Date should be very complete, like the date, month, and year format. And date will be the day on which you are writing this memo. Subject, topic of the memo. Subject should be very clear and specific, because when the readers will read the subject, they may have a precise understanding about the body of the memo, or what kind of information is served through memo. So subject is very important. Example of heading segment. You can see to, from, date, subject. All these are written to Mr. Ahmed, Director Sales. So name and designation from Mr. Ali, Sales Manager. Here again the name and designation, date March 11, 2016. Here month, date and year. This format is written. In this format the message is served. You can also write in date, month and year format. Now comes the subject. Sales summary for the year 2016. So this is the capital form. You can write the subject in capital form, like you have to mention all the letters in capital, or all these words through capital mode. So sales summary for the year 2016. Or you can write in a different way, like in proper form, where you have to mention the starting of a word in capital, like sales, S is capital, summary S is capital, for the year Y is capital, and 2016. So sales summary for year 2016, this is in proper mode. You can write in this way too. Then opening. At a very opening, your message should be very clear. So opening is a body, like body of the memo. So the message which is served through this body, or writing a body of a memo, should be very specific, clear, and give the facts. These should be very informative in nature. Examples, like here is a summary of the measures the campus security department is taking to ensure that only authorized people are around into the administrative offices. So the purpose of writing a memo is very clear, and instruction is also very clear. In the second example, it is told that as you requested, here is a copy of annual sales report for our new product Mint Candy, launched in December 2015. So again, in the second example, you can see the new product Mint Candy, which name is already mentioned, and the date of launch, launched in December 2015, and an annual sales regarding this new venture is attached. So the purpose is written very clearly. So you have to write the body of the memo in this way. Okay, then like in the previous what I have told, this is the opening. Opening also comes under body. Okay, this is the starting of the body, better to say. Okay, if we break the body, then this is the starting of the body. Now this is the main body. The body of the memorandum should be written in single spaced if you write through a computer or using a laptop. Uh, the body of the memo contains the message of the memo, and it describes, explains, and discusses the central idea of the memo, and includes all the details that support the central idea. So the message should be very informative, full of facts and figures if it is required. So all the data instruction should be given very carefully, so that each and every part of the information is given, or employee should have all the possible you know questions, or like parameters are served through this memo, or after reading this memo. So the body may contain a brief statement of the key recommendations the center has reached, and at the end of the body, uh, like the closing of the body, should contain a recommendation, means what the reader or the what the sender has come to a conclusion, in his or her opinion the employee should follow or should obey. So through a recommendation, a memo can be ended. Now this is the closing of a memorandum. Make a courteous closing statement, but do not use sincerely or other letter like ending. In a letter, what we do, we end letter with subscription, which is called subscription, sincerely, truly, yours faithfully. But do not use such kind of subscription while writing a memorandum. Example, please send your recommendations to me by October 5th, 2016, so that we are able to complete the project by the end of November 2016. So, close with some specific instruction, or you can close with a recommendation. If you want some information from the employees, you have to ask for the information or instruction very clearly, so that the employees can also have an idea what they need to do. Or if you want that employees should obey any specific rule through their regular activities, so you have to mention that rules very clearly, so that the employees can have a clear idea about their action, or about their course of action. Optional parts of a memo. A few optional elements may be used in memo as per requirement, like the reference, the attachments or distribution list. Attachment means if you want to provide some information or data in support of your answer, then you can uh, list list it through a table form, or you can provide a diagram or pictograph or table, etc. Like if you want to share the annual turnover of your company, or annual profit of the company, so you can also attach a table in your memo. You can also attach a distribution list, like you are sending the memo to the employees, and at the same time you are sending a copy to the vice chairman or managing director of the organization. So you can write CC, like carbon copy or distribution list. This is called the distribution list to a memo, but it is optional, it is not mandatory. This is a sample memo, like date of memo. Example, January 1st, 2010 to persons to whom the memo is primarily addressed. Example, James Brown, Director of Communication, or Estates and Litigation Department. CC, name of anyone else to receive a copy to whom you are sending this copy, like the managing director of your company, or someone else. From author of memo, who is writing this memo, usually followed by his or her handwritten initials. If you type the memo uh, by using a laptop or computer, then the person who is writing or serving this memo, he or she should have an initial after his name. Subject, concise statement of the memo's topic. Example, enrollment in new benefit program. So the subject should be very specific, short and clear. And this is the body. Recipient of memos should read them in a hurry. So it helps to write short sentences and paragraphs. So you have to write a memo through very short sentences. It also important to clearly explain the reason for the memo in the first paragraph. So memo has you can break the information in the body through writing the paragraph. So this is the starting or the beginning of the paragraph. This is the first paragraph. So here you can write clearly the reason for writing a memo. For example, if the memo informs employees that they must enroll in a new benefit program, the first paragraph should explain that the organization has decided to implement a new insurance program and that all employees need to enroll within the next 30 days. So the instruction should be very clear. The following paragraph will include any accompanying or supporting information. So if you want to provide any supporting information, then you can explain that in the second paragraph. In the benefit enrollment memo, The second paragraph might explain the reasons for the change in benefit and inform the readers of how the change may affect them. So, if employees want to enroll in the benefit program, then what are the additional benefits they may enjoy by applying for this enrollment. And a memo's final paragraph, that means the concluding paragraph, should clearly state the specific action that the readers need to take. The group of persons for whom this memo is served should be very careful about their course of action after reading this memo. The final paragraph might inform the recipients that they may enroll in person, by mail, or online, or include specific information about where and how to enroll for this program. It should also remind the readers of the deadline, as well as listing the contact information of benefits specialist in case of employee have a question or concern. Finally, it should emphasize the benefit or positive outcome of the policy changes. So this is how uh, a memo is written. And if the writer uh, or the sender of the other participants, like the employees of the organization, may want to attach the chart or any information, then they can attach, send through a attachment. So this is a sample memo format, uh, and this is the way in which a memo is written. Okay, so it will definitely give you an additional idea and concept that memo is indeed a very important way of sharing information within the organization. And this is a very important aspect of writing a memo. We cannot write a memo to a person who is working in other organization to provide or give information. It is written only to a person, to an employee who is working in your organization only. And that is why memo is called inter-office memorandum. So memo should be very clear, it should be very specific, it should be short, and it should be very direct and simple in nature, so that the employees can easily understand what is written in this memo, or what is the instruction is served, or what is the order is given. And immediately the employees get connected with the message and they can act accordingly. So memo should be very clear, very short. Memo is very inexpensive because we need only a piece of paper to write a memo. So all these features are important, and the format of memo is also very simple. We have only four components: heading, then opening, then body of the message, and then the conclusion. Okay, in the heading there are only four parts: to, from, date, and subject. Then comes the opening. Opening means the starting paragraph of the body, and then comes the main body, and then comes the closing. So this is the way a memo is written. In this slide, um, you can definitely have an idea how to write a memo. Now, when we will practice this memo writing in a classroom, then you can have a better understanding. Okay, so if you have any question after hearing this PPT, then definitely note down your points and ask me in the classroom so that your doubts are clarified. Okay, so stay tuned for the next slides. Okay, and by then, see you.